Fox News host Sandra Smith is on a bit of a tear. This time, she's going to be grilling White House Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany over Donald Trump's apparent love of conspiracy theorists related to QAnon. Take a look.
The Wall Street Journal this morning asking the question, what is QAnon? It describes it as a right-wing group that believes President Trump is under assault by Satan worshipers, has made its way from social media into U.S. politics. Forbes says as of today, the president has retweeted 4 congressional candidates who have promoted their conspiracy theory. Ari Fleischer this morning saying that the president would be better off denouncing QAnon. They're a bunch of wackadoodles. Both parties have nutty fringe groups. The USA does best when leaders in both parties can keep the sentiments of those people on the fringes. Is the president supporting this conspiracy theory?
No, what the president is doing is working for the American people. The media talks a lot about this so-called QAnon. I've never heard the president mention it. I talk to him oftentimes 10 times a day. Not once have I heard him mention this group. The media talks about it and asks about it, but this president's focused on a pandemic that he's navigating a historic response for.
All right, so let me stop there and go back to what Ari Fleischer said, right? Because that bothers me. Oh, there are fringe groups on both sides. Really? What's a fringe group on the left? They're not even comparable, right? And look, what is it? I forget who also talks about. Oh man, but there's crazy people on the left too. No, the people on the left are not talking about lizard people, a group of satanic, pedophiles on the or on the other side that are eating babies or whatever. No, there's no equivalent here. And I hate the both sidesism, right? And like, oh, well, they're crazy too. Crazy socialists, right? They're the crazy ones. I mean, they're just as crazy as QAnon. I can't tell the difference. Oh, I hate this reality. This timeline is the worst. But anyway, okay, so now going directly to what Kayleigh McEnany was also saying, like, oh man, the media keeps talking about QAnon. Well, it's because there was a recent report that found that people who believe in this insane conspiracy theory, who are dangerous, by the way, now they're number in the millions. And so there were reports about that. Facebook just banned a bunch of QAnon accounts, QAnon pages, which I think is fine because it's not like a violation of free speech. And I love seeing that argument because it's ridiculous. It's not free speech because it's Facebook. Facebook isn't a public utility, which means that if you want free speech on Facebook, we can do that. We can make Facebook a public utility. We can take it over with the power of government. And therefore, you would have government protections for your speech, so you can say whatever you want. Oh, you don't like that? Oh, you'd rather, you hate socialism? Sad day for you. I guess you just get banned from Facebook then for saying outrageous things. Hey, nothing we can do. It's a private corporation. It's a private corporation. Do whatever you want. So that point's always fun. But then, and by the way, again, the media just started talking about this because it is an important story, because it's insane. And she's like, I can't believe they're talking about QAnon all the time. Oh my God. Well, we're talking about the pandemic. The Trump administration would like nothing more than to get all the eyes off of the pandemic. Again, she said historic response. I say historically bad. Okay. Historically bad response. You have over 5 million people in America that we know of that are infected with coronavirus. 170,000 plus dead, right? We'll hit 200,000 before the election. Millions of people losing their homes. The evictions have begun already, right? Yes. Oh, it's historic, all right. Yep. Historically bad. Historic failure. People will look back 20 years, 50 years in the history book and be like, God, Donald Trump was the worst president in history. Nowhere. Look, again, George W. Bush, terrible president. Horrible, right? Awful. Donald Trump, worse than George W. Bush. By far. By far. And he didn't even have to get us into 2 unfunded wars in the Middle East and kill, millions, over a million innocent people, innocent Iraqis. And so, no, he was just killing thousands, hundreds of thousands of Americans with coronavirus. Terrible. But anyway, so now that said, Donald Trump's talking about conspiracy theorists and give him a little wink and a nod, I think, to that conspiracy, saying, "Oh yeah, they love me. I mean, I like that they love me," and so Smith is going to remind McEnany of that in this next clip.
But just to be clear, Kayleigh, he was asked about it yesterday. He said he has heard about the online conspiracy theorists. His words were he has heard about them and that they are people that love our country. It was puzzling to many people.
He's talking about his supporters. He believes his supporters are good, hardworking people that love this country. He's not in the business of basket of deplorable politics. He doesn't talk about
Does he want the support of that group?
He has not at all looked into who QAnon is. Again, we're in the middle of a global pandemic that he's navigating a historic response for, an economic recovery. He's focused squarely on the American people, not some group on the internet or out there that the media tends to focus on far more than we believe is merited.
The FBI released a memo last year warning that QAnon's followers could be possible, quote, conspiracy theory-driven domestic extremists. So just to reiterate, the president did comment on it, saying that these are people that love our country. So if there's any further response from the White House, let us know. Final thought, Kayleigh?
Yeah, there's a lot of children in this country who have died in the streets of Democrat cities. We're focused on capturing criminals. We're focused on navigating the pandemic. We're focused on the economy, not some group.
Holy shit, did you see that pivot? I mean, asked about QAnon, right? And hey, did the president commented on it? So does he know about this group? I mean, he says they love our country. Yeah, but children are dying in Democrat cities. Holy pivot, Batman! I mean, that is priceless. Hey, that's not what we're talking about, Kayleigh. Does the president love this group who claims insane things, right? Does he agree with this group? Does he know about this group? Or not? And of course, it is that wink and a nod, right? I am convinced that he does, mostly because it's all about him, right? That it's all about him being cast as the central hero in the story. In a story in which Hillary Clinton and the Democrats are all the villains. Why would he not love that? No, he absolutely loves it. He's never met a conspiracy that he doesn't like, so long as it helps him, of course. And it's at this point, it's really all he has. Because again, she can lie all she wants about this, about their response to the pandemic. Cold, hard numbers and facts don't lie. We've done a terrible, awful job under Donald Trump. And so there's no way to defend this. Okay. There's no way to defend either. Okay. You can deflect, you can pivot, you can distract, you can project, whatever you can, but you can't defend it. And that's why she is unable to. And that's why she's desperately trying to avoid answering that question. It's dodging and weak. She's like Neo from the Matrix. Okay. She could not answer this question. And honestly, if I were her, I wouldn't want to. Because it's impossible. And so that's what it is. Credit again to Sandra Smith. At first going after, Kellyanne Conway and then asking tough questions of Kayleigh McEnany. What is happening at Fox? What are you guys doing over there? At least, Sandra, you're letting her actually do journalism. You guys better cut that out, or else you're going to lose Trump for good.